Yeah, he did bite him. Danny Garcia had a very beautiful ninth round of counterpunching. Go back and check that out if you haven't already. I think it's going to be Manny Pacquiao. Because now that we have Errol Spence fighting, Errol Spence is supposed to be returning, but his IBF title is having an interim title with Sergey Limpinets. And who did they order? Sergey Limpinets and Abdul Kakharov. I watched him fight in Philly. Right now, the 147-pound division, because of Errol Spence's accident, is kind of up in the air. People don't know how Errol Spence really is. He's back in camp working. We have no idea whatsoever when he's supposed to return. Remember, as they said, it was supposed to be Danny Garcia, Errol Spence tonight on PBC on Fox pay-per-view. I think it's going to be Manny Pacquiao. I think it's going to be Manny Pacquiao. I keep seeing that girl everywhere. Some girl I went to school with. I think it's going to be Manny Pacquiao, to be perfectly honest with you. Here's some brief highlights. Ivan Redkach, I'm surprised he didn't get knocked out. Also, Danny Garcia walking around at, he said he walking around at 165, but he said he lost 25 pounds for this fight, which would put him in the 170s. Like 172 is some shit, right? Crazy. And you can tell when he confronted Errol Spence in the ring like he was huge. And maybe because, he really was like upset and he didn't take Ivan Redkach seriously. Fighters do that. But you got to be on your A game, even if Manny Pacquiao is 41 years old. And if the fight was to happen, would it be in May or June? We're looking at a potential log jam of pay-per-views between April, May, June, and July. Remember, how many did we have last year? 3, 2 Spence, 1 Pacquiao. No, last year we had 1 Wilder, 2 Spence, 1 Pacquiao, and 1 Crawford Khan. 6 pay-per-views last year, right? From my math, let's see, 2 Spence, Crawford, Pacquiao, Wilder. That's 5. So this year, PBC on Fox is talking about 4 or 5 again this year, just them alone. Remember, they do have a date opened up because they were trying to put Jamel Charlo versus Julian Williams on pay-per-view. But where is Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz going to land on pay-per-view? What the fuck is going on with them trying to even give us that on pay-per-view, by the way? It's crazy. He's not a pay-per-view guy, in my opinion. No disrespect. Both of them, in my opinion. Tank not ready yet. But these guys make a lot of money, or they command a lot of money. And in regards to Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is on a fight-by-fight basis with the Zone, and Eddie Hearn's contract with Mikey Garcia is that he can match any offer. Not saying that he will, but he can match any offer. So Mikey Garcia, after Jesse Vargas in February, could go back over to Showtime, or end up fighting Danny Garcia somewhere. Remember, they were supposed to fight before, or they were rumored to. And this was around the time when the rumors were that they wanted to put Spence versus Porter on free TV and Danny Garcia versus Mikey Garcia or pay-per-view because of the Mexican versus the Puerto Rican. They didn't really have too much faith. The early rumors were it wasn't too much faith in Spence versus Porter on the pay-per-view at that time. I remember that. That was the story around that time. And Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia could have ended up on pay-per-view. But if you noticed, all the top Heyman guys have been getting their pay-per-view shots except Danny Garcia. And this was supposed to be his night. So trust me, rest assured, right now it all depends on Errol Spence. It'll be a huge feather in the cap of Errol Spence if he was to come back and say, nah, no tune-ups, no nothing. I want a tough fight. He's been talking this shit, or at least when he had his interview on Fox, he was. Let's see, what's next. Because if he don't fight Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, then he has to fight, who is he going to fight? Because Danny Garcia was in an eliminator tonight, but not in a final eliminator. But then you got Limpinets, who was ordered to fight the IBF mandatory. So Errol Spence, is he on medical leave? Or can he fight somebody in the top 15 as a voluntary? But yet there's this whole situation from a political standpoint with the two sanctioning bodies of the WBC and IBF, especially the IBF, ordering an interim fight. Something is kind of fishy there, you know? Because the IBF never does interims. And right now, the mandatory for the WBC, even though Danny Garcia won the silver tonight and was in an eliminator, is not guaranteed because the WBC may order him to fight Sean Porter to be the mandatory. It's weird. And we don't know when Errol Spence is returning, if he's going to return this year at all, or in the first half of this year. He's saying, you know, like May, June, or some shit like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's June, July, August, you know? Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. I'm actually going to watch the post-fight press conference and take my ass to bed. I'm tired of shit. You know, and yeah. Moving on to the next card. I'm actually going to be in Allentown for the next Showtime card, Gary Russell versus Tugnay Embar. So, that's the next fight I'm covering. I'm TstreeT Controversy. Please subscribe.
Bet, which if I was a betting man, I'd probably bet on the Pacquiao fight happening more than the Spence fight.
And, you know, Danny Garcia's